everyone, and welcome to another episode of Living Local in Asheville. I am Karen Svites, your local specialist, and today we have the pleasure of getting to know Hunter Strickland. He is the owner of High Climate Tea at 12 South Lexington Avenue in downtown Asheville, and they are dedicated to providing you the highest quality and array of single origin tea from China.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. So what led you to go into the tea business and open up the tea shop?
Tea is actually, I got into tea by accident. It's one of life's big ironies is I used to be an English teacher, and I was teaching ESL in San Francisco and planning on teaching in Japan afterwards, and fell in love with tea because of a tea shop there in Chinatown. And I wound up working for that Chinese family rather than teaching English.
Oh.
And yeah, so I got into it entirely by mistake. I actually used to drink coffee all the time. And I'm far from anti-coffee now, but there was a tea coated in ground ginseng that I tried. Took home in less than 3 weeks, I realized that I'd stopped drinking coffee because it made me feel 1,000 times better. And that was the catalyst that got me into it.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and that's tough when people are, I think it's 2/3 of Americans are hooked on coffee. You have to have it in the morning to get going. But maybe it doesn't make you feel the best. And then you're on cup 6 at 3 o'clock.
Yeah, that's really where you run into like issues where it makes you feel terrible or like you feel very dehydrated and worn down from the day. It's like 2 times it's perfect to drink coffee. Actually, 2 times it's excellent to drink coffee. It's first thing in the morning because I'm not a morning person at all. Very good then, or after a great dinner with dessert. There's nothing like coffee.
Yeah.
But in the middle of the day, like caffeine is not actually energy at all. Most of what it does is it blocks receptors in your brain that tell you that you're tired. So you get a big spike when it takes hold of you, and then you get a huge crash afterwards, and you feel exhausted and worn down. And you've actually felt like that the whole time. So you keep going back to caffeine for more and more and more and more, and it's a downward spiral. And it's very dehydrating. Well, the way ginseng gives you energy is it opens up your blood vessels and improves your circulation. That's a natural source of energy in your body. It helps to distribute oxygen more effectively to your muscles, to your brain. That's why it's so good for focus, for concentration. And it's great for keeping the body hydrated.
Yeah.
So aside from just like regular energy on the average day, if you want to pick me up in the like 2-3 p.m. slump, or using it as like a pre or post workout for things like runs, exercising, other sporting events like that, ginseng is a fantastic source of energy for those things.
Right.
Yeah, and the way you feel by the end of the day is entirely different.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so the end goal is to get going in the morning, to have a productive day, and it's something that tea can do in a way that also creates healthy balance in your body.
Yeah, and that's really the main thing that tea is for, and that's why Chinese tea drinking culture, like talking about Camellia sinensis as tea, is the oldest one in the world. They've been doing it for more than 5,000 years, going on 6,000 now. And the reason why you don't see Chinese tea blended with like milk, sugar, spice, any of those things is because it really is a medicine. The 3 things that you can do with tea very effectively are cleansing, detoxing your body, which is very important for a long, healthy life, for boosting the immune system, keeping that strong to prevent disease and illness, and then for balancing yourself. Whether it's genetic predisposition, things with our environment, people have issues with allergies or places where they work, things like that. You can adjust and balance your health naturally very effectively if you know which tea to drink for which reason.
Yeah, and that's, I have experienced that myself as well. Thank you, Hunter.
Oh, you're very welcome. I do what I can. Yeah.
So what are some of the health benefits if someone were to walk in the door and say, I'm very sluggish, I have a lot of inflammation in my body, and I have heart problems.
Sure.
What would be a
Usually the first thing, if you want to go for all 3 of those and just address that, I have an herb called Ding, which is essentially a very powerful green tea. It's a very powerful cleanser. Usually like, inflammation in the body is a result of a lot of mucus, a lot of sugar, a lot of potential bacterial buildup. This herb and all green teas are very good anti-sugar, anti-inflammatory. They all go against mucus. They're all antibacterial. Things like with heart disease, the tannin in green tea that makes it bitter and astringent is very good at improving the elasticity of our blood vessels. And so that helps with heart conditions, high blood pressure, that kind of thing. But really, the easiest way to apply tea, or when you're just starting out, the easiest way to understand your tea is you have 5 main types of tea. You have white tea, green tea, oolong tea, black tea, and then pu'er. White tea is the most rich in polyphenol and antioxidant. It's also the most alkaline rich. So you also have immune system, long life with white tea. Green tea is the best for detoxing and cleansing the body and getting all the junk out. And just like every day we go outside, you get your skin dirty, you have to bathe. Green tea is how you clean the inside of your body. Oolong is the best used for focus, for concentration, like talking about energy during the day, maybe while you're at work, something like that. If you're stuck writing a paper or you're doing a lot of desk work, oolong for that.
Okay.
Black tea is very good for digestion, like with snack food, very sweet and salty things that we just sort of munch on. Black tea is fantastic for those. And the dark roasted teas all carry a little bit more of caffeine. So people who like a little bump from caffeine like first thing in the morning, or some people just like caffeine in general, all the dark roasted teas are good for that. And then pu'er, Chinese black tea, which is actually fermented and aged, that is the best of the best of the best for digestion, for colon health, helping with all the delicious foods that give us heartburn, gas, bloating, indigestion, lots of cholesterol. That tea is fantastic for all of those things.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, thank you.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Yeah.
That's amazing information. Do you offer food here at all?
Yeah. So our business actually functions in like two parts. Is our tea bar where we're sitting now. We do all retail sales with our tea and ceramic, and then we do education here at the bar. And then behind us in the lounge, people can come in, they can order a pot of tea, and we also have some great snacks that we make in-house. Every day we have fresh handmade mochi. A lot of our desserts and other things are all involve our tea in some way or another, and so I'm really proud of the food that's been put together for us here in the lounge. We have things like white chocolate mousse that's infused with our jasmine silver needle. We have a Japanese Nama chocolate fudge that's infused with our rose and then dusted in matcha powder and topped with a rose petal that's soaked in cream overnight. Really, really good. We have some house-made naan bread that's done with butter and rosemary that we serve with a green tea and peach reduction jam. And the green tea comes from our Iron Goddess tea leaf. And then two things that are coming that we don't have in-house right now quite yet is that same Iron Goddess. Next door, our neighbors, Rhubarb. The head chef Paul is making a Burmese tea leaf salad from that Iron Goddess tea leaf. And they're also going to be supplying us, right now it's zucchini bread. In the fall, going into fall, it'll be pumpkin bread. And we put that peach and green tea jam on top of those breads and top it and garnish with some rosemary. So we've got some really rich, delicious light fare to go along and complement the tea that we serve in the lounge.
That sounds like a beautiful compliment.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah. And in your lounge, do you allow people to reserve or have events or parties, or if somebody wanted to have a classy, delicious, relaxing birthday party here, what would they do?
We do. If you did want to reserve the lounge, the best way to do it is just call the business. We can set up a reservation for you. We've had some people that come in they just want to bring 6 friends in and have a small birthday party on the side, and I'm wondering if they can do that, and that's no problem. We've had other people that have wanted to rent out the whole lounge for an afternoon, and so that's something that, of course, is best set up a little bit in advance, but yeah, it's things that we're happy to do, and so just give the business a call, and we'd love to set it up for people.
It's a very unique experience. I've experienced it myself, and it is highly recommended. So,
well, thank you.
So anything exciting going on right now that customers should know about?
Yeah, one thing, and I hesitate to even mention it because I'm the kind of person who doesn't like to say anything until it's ready to roll out. But one thing I'm very, very excited for is we are working on tea and wine pairings, and we're going to be doing that in the lounge at night. We're getting pretty close. We'll probably be ready to roll that out in just about 2 weeks or so. But we'll be doing that in the lounge at night, likely between 7 and 10 p.m. And we'll probably start on weekends doing it Friday through Sunday, and then if it's popular and people like it, we'll probably start doing it every night of the week. But tea and wine is one of the things that got me into tea as well. As I learned more and more about it, my interest grew. Tea and wine are so similar because the terroir plays such a huge impact role on both of them. The way that the plants grow and then the way that we process them after being picked into their final product is extremely, extremely similar. They're both tannin-rich plants. And that tannin is what's responsible for the really complex flavors and aromas that each of them have. And so they complement each other in a variety of really, really nice ways. Like not just on the basis of flavor, but tea acts as a great palate cleanser for wine. As you're working your way down a flight of wines, like if you're drinking a flight of Malbecs and then you have a tea as a touchstone, not just a palate cleanser, but to return to flavor-wise, it actually accentuates the differences between the wines even more. And then, as long as you have a little bit of tea with your wine, it almost doesn't matter how much you drink, you don't have the headache the next day. What more could you ask for, right? Yeah.
That sounds like being on a rainbow roller coaster.
You know what, I'm going to keep that one. I like that.
Yeah. That's what's going to happen there. And of course, I'll be there too. So I'm looking forward to it. I'll have some glitter.
You'll be the first one I invite.
Oh, good. Thank you. So what is your phone number if somebody wanted to call?
Phone number is 828-505-4771.
Super. Well, thank you for being on the show today, Hunter.
Oh, it was my pleasure. Thanks for having me.